Hey everybody, in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to become confident on camera. By the way, subscribe to my channel if you like videos like this, because we release new ones every single week. Hey everybody, my name is Armin Chaffin. I built a multi-six-figure life coaching business, and now I spend my time helping other coaches build their business as well. So if you've ever done a live webinar, even recorded or pre-recorded like an evergreen webinar, or went to do a Facebook Live, Instagram Live, any type of live on social media, or just simply recorded videos like this for video marketing, and you've struggled to kind of get your words out, to be confident on camera, to be smooth, then this video is for you, okay? A lot of people ask me, it's kind of weird because I have a program where I help coaches do marketing and get their message out there and get clients. But it's weird. I didn't expect to get so many questions around how I show up on camera. I got a lot of people booking calls with me just because they say you come off so authentic, so genuine, so confident in the camera, and your quality of your videos are amazing. So I thought, why not create a valuable video where I can show you a quick training on how I personally got over my fear of camera and criticism and rejection and all these things on speaking in front of audiences or in front of a camera, and show you guys kind of what goes on in my mind for me to develop confidence when I'm speaking. Now, just a little background on me. This is not the first time I'm doing this. I want you to know that. So if you're starting out, don't compare yourself to where I'm at right now on camera. This was a work in progress. I sucked, okay? A little background on me. For the last 5 years now, at the time of this recording of this video, for 5 years now, I've been traveling and speaking on stages. I've ran seminars for 3 days. So I got comfortable with an audience and speaking in front of an audience for a long time. And it's almost the same thing on camera, but there is a slight difference, and I'll talk about that in this video. But I've spoken in different countries in front of hundreds of people at a time, and then translated that also. I've done tons, hundreds of videos at this point, probably thousands of video marketing and webinars and all this stuff. So I'm definitely an expert in speaking and helping people get their message out there confidently in front of others. But I wasn't always like this. I want you to know this. I remember, I'm going to share a story real quick on when I was first ever time trying to do video marketing. I was so nervous. I remember I hired a coach, and we were going to create this 4 video part mini course as a funnel. And it was called the 60-minute morning method. I don't even know if you can find it online anymore. But I built this morning program where I was showing people how to have a powerful morning. And so we created a funnel where I give 4 drip videos over a 4-day period. And so I hired this guy, and we were in his studio, and he was giving me a teleprompter. And I don't know if you guys ever use teleprompters. I'm not against them. They're useful. But I was trying to read every single line on the teleprompter. And I was coming off so inauthentic. I was coming off so nervous because I was trying to read and everything. And so I'm going to talk about the problem of what causes a lack of confidence on camera. But I try to film these 4 simple videos. They're 5 to 6 minute videos, literally 5 to 7 minute videos. It took me 4 hours. 4 hours. I thought, okay, I'll just do it quickly. No. And at that point, I had spoken a few times at a live event, but it was different on camera. And I'm going to tell you the difference. But I sucked when I first started. I just wanted you to know that. Right now, I'm just very comfortable and laid back. I know what I'm going to talk about. I know that you're going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this. I have no pressure on me. And that's really the secret here, which is you got to get to this point, which is unconscious competence. When you speak on camera, you're just an autopilot. I'm just talking right now because I know what I want to say. But the first time I ever tried to make just 4 simple short videos, it took me 4 hours. And I was so nervous the entire time of messing up and doing all these things. And so I learned a lot from that, and eventually I had to snap myself out of it, right? And it's funny because at that time, I was teaching a lot of people about state management. I was showing them how to change their emotions. So I was nervous. I'm like, I should be able to change my emotions when I'm speaking on a camera, but it didn't work that simple. So a couple things I'm going to talk about that I was doing that was a big problem back then, and as I came out of being bad on camera and being bad on stage, I got better at it. The first problem I always had was what I was doing that was a huge problem is I was focusing on the wrong things. Focus on wrong things, okay? So I was focused on things like saying everything, saying things perfectly, okay? Saying everything, I just said right now perfectly, I didn't even say that right. So there's a testament to my growth. I don't care anymore. Saying things perfectly, okay? Perfectly. I also was focused on saying everything, okay? This is probably terrible writing. I hope you can see what I'm saying. Trying to say everything perfectly. So I was trying to remember everything. I was like, oh, did I say the at that part of the sentence? I was so detail focused and really a perfectionism. So I'll even say perfectionism is the real enemy here, perfectionism, okay? Like even that's not perfect. I'm doing this on purpose. So you go, wow, he doesn't care, so why should I? I was being a perfectionist. I'm like, I got to say everything that I wrote down in my script in the teleprompter. I can't miss a beat. And I would get so nervous. And so all these things would make me nervous. The other thing I was focused on is, looking good on camera. Looking good. Oh, I was so nervous. I'm like, what if I look weird? What if my shirt's out of place? What if this is out of place? And I'm like, is my hair okay? All these things right here, all these things got me nervous, okay? All these things made me nervous, and that's why I would suck on camera. It's almost the same thing when it comes to seminars and stages and speaking, right? I was being a perfectionist because I was focusing on all the wrong things. My focus was in the wrong place. So when I would go live on a video or a live webinar or on camera, like it's recording right now, I would start freaking out because I'm trying to read all the teleprompter stuff, and I'm like, okay, and so that's why I personally don't use the teleprompter. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Some people do better with it. I'm saying I can't do it because it puts me in my head again. In fact, here's another thing. Boom, right here. Let me use a different color. Actually, I want to use this, right? Another thing is I was in my head, okay? I wasn't in my body. I wasn't in my heart. I wasn't in my intention. I was in my head. And so the more logically I approached speaking, the worse I became because I kept trying to remember to say everything perfectly, to not mess up, to not mispronounce words, right? To not slur. I still do that now. I still do that right now. Probably messed up a few words already. And I was trying to say everything I had written down. And also, I was trying to hopefully I look good. And, stupid things like me and my cousin right now who's filming this, we're laughing because right now I'm just like, man, is this thing showing? Because this is is the thing that's recording my voice through my mic. And he goes, who cares? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Even now, I still have little ounces of the perfectionism in me. I'm like, is this showing? Is that little tiny thing showing over here? Because if it shows, we can't do the shot anymore. How dumb is that? Isn't that funny, man? I'm talking to you right now. Yeah, it's stupid. So I just realized that these are all the things we fill our heads with, and then we get nervous on camera. Like, who cares? Even this thing, I remember it used to bother me. Like, this is showing because it's pushing out like this right now. Oh my God, we have to stop now. Look, okay, like it doesn't matter. Okay, so I remember when I used to suck on stage, on camera, and all this stuff. It's because I was focusing on all the wrong things. I was trying to be a perfectionist, and all these things made me nervous. Okay. And it got me in my head. And when I was in my head, I was not only not present to what I was saying, I was also focused on the wrong things. And the audience and you watching this probably like, man, this guy's in his head or he's reading something. Look at him, he's reading something. You know all those advertisements you watch. I know I watch them. And they're like, welcome, da 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 da. They're like, their eyes are going like this. So they're reading something and you're just looking at them like, no, I'm not connecting to you. Maybe that's a good video, maybe it's a good script, but I'm not connecting to you. So when we talk about confidence, it's a matter of connection, right? Like when someone's watching you, they think you're a confident speaker and you're confident on camera because you're so comfortable. Like your certainty in yourself and how you're on camera, that's what creates confidence, the perception of confidence. And the audience goes, man, look how confident and comfortable they are. Look how certain they are. That's what confidence is, a perception of how certain I am about myself and what I'm saying. Does that make sense? Like right now, so just so you guys know how I prepare, this is probably more advanced than what I was planning on giving you guys, but I'll give you some sneak peek, like what I had prepared for this training. Like watch, I'll show you right now. All I really have is bullet points. Like I don't know if you guys can see, but all I have is bullet points of what I'm going to say, okay? So I have the story I'm going to talk about. I don't have a script, right? I just have a bullet point, story. First time trying to record 4 videos for my 60-minute morning method and failing for hours. I have that right there. And the problem I'm going to talk about, I'm going to write right now. Remembering what to say, saying everything perfectly, getting all my information out. Saying it. So all I did was quickly took a glance at my bullet points. And I go, oh, okay, that's all I got to say. And still, I give myself forgiveness. I go, if I forget some of them, who cares? Because the point is, and I'm going to talk about the solution. The point is, I make sure that, well, actually, I'm going to tell the solution. That's the point, which is what gets me to be confident. But I'm just sharing that with you because, like, I'm just being real with you. Like, that's how you become confident camera. You got to get comfortable. You got to relax. Like, let go of all the stupid things you're focusing on, number 1. Number 2, another way to hack this so that you don't have this stuff happen is preparation. Like really, some people need to practice. They need to practice the same thing 5 times before they could do it on camera. I'm not saying I don't. I do, but I do differently. So I'll sit there, I'll speak out loud to myself quickly, and I'll see the bullet points, and I'll just run through it through my imagination of what I'm going to do it like on camera. But I don't actually sit there and practice. Now, some of you might need to. If you don't have the kind of skill I have, like you've been doing this for years, I have a muscle in this now. In the beginning, I did practice out loud in front of a mirror. So because I was well prepared, I also wasn't struggling on camera. I wasn't nervous because I knew what I was going to say. And so another big cause of all of this happening, the problem, is you lacking preparation. So you're guessing now and you blank. Oh my God. It's funny, I have an entire bonus module in my Speaking at Clients program, which is about running webinars and getting clients through that. But I have a whole confident speaker training where I teach everything I've learned in the years of doing speaking all around the world. And I have one lesson called how to avoid blanking on stage. The one thing that causes it, how to avoid it. So I'm actually giving you a snippet of that right now, which is what we're talking about. We're just focusing on the wrong things. Now, what's the solution? How did I fix my 4-hour failure of trying to film 4 simple videos? How did I get better as a speaker? Armin, how'd you get confident? How'd you get certain? How'd you eliminate nervousness? So nervousness does go away eventually. Here's the solution. I'm gonna write this in blue. The solution is KYO, okay? Here's what it stands for. Know your outcome. So, what I mean by know your outcome, okay? For example, old Armin would have looked at this and be like, the marker's running out. Look, it looks so bad. We got to do this whole thing again. No, we don't. In fact, Upton, do me a favor. Just grab me the blue one over there. I put it over there. See how comfortable I'm being with you guys? This is genuinely like how you got to break the pattern of nervousness by relaxing. Like, I don't care what you guys are going to think about me just because I'm doing this. You just get, no, the blue one's right there, no? Yeah, throw me a blue one, whatever. So what am I doing? Being comfortable with you right now. This is actually such an unorthodox video, though, because I'm showing you guys like how comfortable I am. And usually I'm like this, by the way. This is how I feel. That's why I come off confident, because I'm comfortable. I'm like, I don't need to prove anything. I don't need to, like, I don't have any insecurities. You see what I'm saying? And so you have to do that with yourself by just getting yourself comfortable. So this is our blue one. I'm going to throw it. I just hit the light. Never mind. But this one, let's see if it works better. Is it good? Almost sucks just as much. So who cares? Anyways, there you go. So you got to know your outcome. Now, what do I mean by this? So imagine here, our focus, our outcome is the wrong things. Saying things perfectly. Saying everything we wrote down. Making sure we look good. You know, what will they think of me? And so you get nervous, you get in your head. But the real solution to confidence on camera is obviously preparation. I'm not saying don't prepare. Either way, let's say preparation's like mandatory here. Because if you get on camera and you have to film something, if you haven't even practiced what you're going to say or know what you're going to say, yeah, of course you're going to start being all self-conscious because you're thinking like, oh my God, I don't remember, and you blank. Okay, so fix that by preparing properly for the videos. Like I said, I have my bullet points out. I make them. It takes me a couple hours to write 4 simple bullet point scripts, meaning I just look at all the points I'm going to cover. I don't write the lines, though, because if I write the lines, I'll get in my head again about what I have to remember to say. So I keep it very vague, so I kind of trust myself to know what to say when I get on camera. That's more advanced, but later on you'll get to that if you haven't got there yet. But start by writing it in detail maybe so you can learn yourself practice. So you want to get to this point, though, where you just have bullet points. So know your outcome is this. You want to ask yourself 2 questions. Okay, 2 questions. Okay, I'm just realizing we need new blue markers. Let me write this with black. So we gotta ask ourselves 2 questions. Question number 1, to know the outcome properly, okay, is what is the goal for the audience? And then what is the goal for myself? Okay? And ultimately, the real question we're asking to know our outcome is what is the goal? So you have to understand your brain works like a heat-seeking missile. That's how your brain works. So it's going to follow the target you set. So what's the problem when you have no target or you have the wrong target? It's going to start doing all of this crap because you're just so self-conscious. You're just not messing up on camera. So you don't show up as confident. You show up as insecure or self-conscious or unprepared or amateur. So the real secret here is certainty, right? How do you build certainty in yourself? Knowing my outcome. So here's the trick, right? Before you get on camera, before you do a live webinar, before you speak in a live event, no matter what it is, when you speak in front of something, before you do, you need to know your outcome. Set the intention. Ask yourself, what's my goal with this video, with this live webinar, with this event, with this speaking, with this speech, whatever it is? What's my goal for the audience and what's my goal for myself? Example, what's my goal for the audience? Let's say I watch this video. This video, I know my goals for you guys, so for you to have clarity in what to not to do and what to do. I know that. So I'm like, even if I forget some of the things I wrote down, I'll still remember when I'm in the moment. Okay, by the end of this video, I have to make sure I achieve the goal, which is you guys understand what not to do and what's causing the lack of confidence and what to do to get confidence. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, I also have a goal for myself. Now, you're lying to yourself if you don't have a goal for yourself when you do anything, okay? It's basic human nature. You have your own personal motives. So I know I make these videos, for example, these valuable trainings, because I want to show you that I can add value, I can help you in your business, and I want to win you as a client. I want you to book a call at the end of every video I make. So I know every time I get on camera for video marketing, for example, I know my goal is to give you enough value, give you enough motive for you to want to say, man, I want to work with Armin, I want to work with this team. If this is what he can give me in a free video, imagine what he can give me in a paid program. So, and we have like super deep stuff in the paid program, super detailed, systematic, step by step. My point is, I know my goal. So what am I also doing at the same time? The only thing I'm thinking about is my goal for you and my goal for me. So the end goal, knowing my outcome in mind. And so because I know the outcome of this video and what my outcome is for doing this in general, I stay clear the whole time. I don't get nervous. I don't care now what I say specifically. I just make sure I hit that outcome. I make sure I achieve the goal. I don't care if I remember to say everything, because if I still achieve the goal, who cares? You won't even know I didn't say something I wrote down. You wouldn't know if I had a bullet point I didn't. I probably skipped a few bullet points right now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think, a few things. But who cares? Right? I'm not caring about how I look. Like as long as I'm comfortable in my skin, in my clothing, whatever, sure, it doesn't matter. But it actually makes no difference, okay? In fact, the worse you kind of look sometimes, it's more relatable. Like sometimes I had hair sticking out, or my shirt was crumpled up the whole time, and it's just more human because you're like, oh, look, he doesn't care. So I don't get nervous. You get what I'm saying? I really don't get nervous, okay? So I don't need anything from you guys. I'm really more so doing this for you. So to me, I'm coming from a place of I'm just adding some value. So there's nothing to be nervous about. And I used to do this with hundreds of people in an audience when I spoke somewhere. I'm there for them. Why am I nervous? Right? I don't have problems. I'm coming here because I have things to share about how to solve problems. So I'm giving. So I'm in a giving state. I'm thinking about you. What do you want? What do you need? Well, if you're struggling to go live on Facebook, go live on Instagram, do a live webinar, do a video for your business and your marketing, I'm going to help you out by teaching you how to know your outcome. What questions can you ask? And I know if I add enough value, maybe you want to book a call. If not, you'll book a call one day. If you never book a call, then great. I added value. Remember that. You see what I'm saying? It's a very different way of thinking about it when you start speaking, okay? Now, that's a philosophical way of looking at it. I'm giving you a strategy, how to understand what you're doing. I'm going to give you some tactical things, okay? First of all, when people get on camera specifically, most of the time they're nervous because they're looking at a camera. Like I'm looking at a lens right now. Oh, but you feel like I'm talking to you, right? Here's the reason why, okay? Here's a tactical thing. So what I do is, and let's do this, okay? Let's say tactics. Practical things you could do. What I do is I don't look at, most people will look at, let's say this is a camera. Let's just say that's a camera, okay? Well, that's not bad. So most people look at a camera. That's not right. Don't look at a camera. What I'm looking at is this. This is actually what happens in my brain. This is the camera, but I see you on the other side. So I see through the camera to you. That's how I do it. So right now, even though I'm talking to a lens, I don't look at the lens. I'm imagining I'm talking to you. So here's a cool hack for you to do this properly. Think of one of your clients or one of your friends that you're wanting to talk your video about to, and imagine you're talking to them. So right now, I have a person on the other side. I think about my clients in my program, and I pick a few people that probably asked me about this, and I pretend I'm talking to them. And because I'm pretending I'm talking to a person, I come off way more natural, way more authentic. I don't mess up. I don't become this other person. And with my one-on-one clients as well, my elite clients, I coach them on this because we build out their funnel and everything. We build out their webinars, their video marketing. We do it with them. And I'm surprised at how much struggle they have with the camera thing. They're these amazing coaches that crush it, transform people's lives. But when it comes to making a simple ad video, they're all they get all weird. Hey, what's up? How? And I'm why are you changing? And I realize there's a misconception around speaking in front of cameras or audiences and say you have to be something different. Well, no, the secret is to pretend like you're talking to a normal person yourself. Don't change. This is how I sound on a day-to-day basis. It's how I sound when I talk to my team, to my clients. I don't change myself. Maybe in the intros, hey, everybody, welcome. Sure, fine. Okay, I'm not saying don't do that. But when you start to get into the content, relax. Don't sound like you're doing a professional video. My name is Bob. When you do that, you become unrelatable. You disconnect with the audience. They go, this guy's trying too hard or this girl's trying too hard. So you got to relax and not look at a camera. You got to look at a person on the other side of the camera. and pretend you're looking at them and talking to them. And even imagine what they would say back and like look at them doing this. Like it's actually easy because I also have my cousin here who's filming and he actually nods his head the whole time as I'm talking. It really helps. Because as I'm talking, he's going like this and I go, oh, it's making sense. So I keep going. Now, if there was nobody there, like if I'm on Facebook Live, again, if you go on my Facebook, facebook.com/Armin Chaffee, if you hit me up on Facebook, see on my Facebook Lives, I'm really natural. I'm holding my thing. Why? Because I'm talking to someone, not my camera. I'm not talking to people, I'm talking to someone. Here's a little deep hack. You ready? Deep secret. When I used to do this on stage, I used to train speakers to do this on stages too, not just on camera for marketing. I would tell them, here's the equivalent to this, I would tell them to pick a few people in the audience in the front row and focus on them. Because if you can focus on one person, connect to them, the whole audience will feel it. So most speakers that get nervous on stage, they'll look at everybody. They'll look at a whole, like the lights. And no. Find a few people, look at their eyes, and focus on them. Connect to the eyes. Because you can't do that on camera, what we do is instead we pretend we're looking at a person. It's a very deep tactic. Deep tactic. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I would share with you guys about confidence? Preparation, obviously. Don't focus on the wrong things. On the solution side, know your outcome. KYO, know your outcome. A good example of that, by the way, is Ken Blanchard. Okay, here's one of my bullet points I just remembered. Ken Blanchard, super good speaker. He's someone that Tony Robbins studied when he was starting out on speaking. And he actually says in an interview that before every time he spoke on stage anywhere, before he ever spoke in front of a camera, anything, he would visualize the end in mind. So he would visualize, so let's say this is, example, this is the starting point, and this is the finish, the ending point, right? He would, before he would start, this is a cloud. He would visualize the end in mind, the finish. And he'd visualize it the way he wants it to look. He would see the audience having a good time, laughing with him, getting a standing ovation. This equivalent on camera, live webinar is the same. On live webinar, seeing the engagement in the comments. On a camera, seeing the comments on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever I post it. Seeing your face respond in your, behind your laptop as you're watching me, for example. He would visualize the end for about 5 minutes, and then he would go into doing it, the talk, okay? So you want to start with the end in mind, knowing my outcome and visualizing it. When you get emotional with it, then when you go to do it, it already feels like you've done it before. Super deep. You ready for this? You want to get yourself to an emotional point where you feel like you've already done this 100 times. This like one video, this one webinar, this one speech on a stage. Because what happens is you show up like that. Even if you've never done it before, you can visualize it. And through your imagination, you'll feel like it. So by the time you speak, you've already done it. You don't look nervous because you're not focusing on doing everything right. No. Just focus on getting your point across. Don't focus on doing everything right. There is no such thing as right. Focus on getting your point across. Focus on achieving the goal for the audience. Focus on delivering value to the audience so they get what they came for. Focus on getting what you need to get across for your efforts. Get what I'm saying, guys? I hope this was super helpful. Now, look, if you're watching this, you're like, man, this is some really good stuff, and like I would love more confidence in myself as a coach, as a speaker, getting on video marketing. You want to make better ads, better emails, better webinars, better presentations. Well, I have a program called Speaking at Clients, and we literally just focus on developing a kick-ass webinar that will generate book calls and leads for you every single day of the week, for you to be able to sell your coaching program or your coaching services. So if you do want help with more of this stuff and you like this and you want more of this and you want to know how to grow a business by building the whole system out, we teach a very advanced presentation system that's automated. Then you can go ahead and book a call with my team and we'll speak to you and see if it's a good fit. And if it is a good fit, then we can tell you what it looks like to work with us. And if it works, I'll probably see you inside the program on one of our coaching calls. So I hope this really helped out. Please go and do this. Don't sweat the small stuff. It doesn't matter. People just want to get your message. They don't want to get you to say it perfectly. They just want you to get the message across. And so I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you book a call if you want to work with us. We'll see you soon. Make the rest of your